Ridiculous. Last thing, ridiculous take of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I got two of them real quick. We'll do these real quick. So Colin Cowherd Roethlisberger announced his retirement, which not a big shock. We talked about this a few podcasts ago, but Colin Cowherd was talking about it again, and he was bringing up his whole, he left a lot of meat on the bone. He left a lot on the table. I don't want to necessarily rehash that, but he made a point. He said, it's kind of like the end for Marlon Brando. Like, he made all these kind of crappy movies. He put on all this weight, and he's like, yeah, 10 years down the road, we're going to start remembering how bad the end was for Roethlisberger. And I'm like, no, that's not how this works. Okay. When you think of Brett Favre, what do you remember? What do I remember? I remember him in the 90s. Okay. I remember him making Green Bay really good, having those crazy throws in the playoffs, being winning the Super Bowl, getting in the Super Bowl 2 years in a row, nearly getting in there 3 years in a row. I mean, like, being really good. I also remember him throwing some bad interceptions, but I mean, I remember that last year in Minnesota. I remember that 1 year in Minnesota where he was really unbelievable. They went to the NFC Championship game. He threw an interception, right? So you remember those things, but it's not like the thing I'm going to remember most is his last year in Minnesota where he was terrible and he couldn't even win a game. Like, I'm not going to remember that. When I think of Dan Marino, like, yeah, if I really want to, I can think about those last few years when he was a shell of himself. But no, I'm going to remember him, chucking the ball down the field. I remember him doing that comeback against the Jets where he did the fake spike and he threw the ball into the end zone. Like, that's what you don't remember the crappy ending. And by the way, he's like, yeah, it ended really badly, which first of all, he exaggerated that. He's like, yeah, the last 10 to 12 years haven't been that good. BS. The last 4 or 5 years haven't been that good. Before that, he was still really good. Okay. Roethlisberger I'm talking about.
Yep.
So yeah, just his whole thing. It's like, oh, in the future, it's like, no. 10 years from now, he's going to have a statue of Roethlisberger outside of Heinz Field, and everyone's going to remember he won 2 rings. He was really good. You couldn't bring him down because he was so big. He just chucking the ball down the field like a really great player. Okay, who's you could argue is one of the top 10 to 15 quarterbacks of all time. The end, who cares about the end? Yeah, Brady had a pretty good ending to his career, but that rarely happens. Peyton Manning, are you going to remember Peyton Manning being a shell of himself in the last year of his career? Like, no. You remember him in Indianapolis, winning games and putting up all these ridiculous numbers. Like, I just thought that whole argument was totally ridiculous. That, and then the other ridiculous argument. Okay. So there's all this speculation about Aaron Rodgers going to Denver. Now that Denver hired the offensive coordinator from Green Bay, who Aaron Rodgers has spoke very highly of. And of course, Shannon Sharp, former Denver Bronco, undisputed on FS1, Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. Shannon Sharp, obviously former Denver Bronco. He's like, yeah, I definitely think I should go after him. I mean, you look at all the talent they have on offense and defense, they're like a quarterback away. And Skip Bayless is crapping all over it. And he's just basically saying, oh, you want this guy, the Mr. I choke in the playoffs guy? And Shannon Sharp had a great point. He goes, yeah, is Aaron Rodgers kind of arrogant and, he kind of makes a big deal about stuff and he's kind of, aloof and all this other stuff. Yeah. You know what else he is? He's transcendent as a quarterback, and Skip was like, oh yeah, you really want this guy? It's like, yes. As a general manager, it would be professional malpractice if Aaron Rodgers is there and you have his offensive coordinator to not go, hey, you want to come play here?
No, I'd rather have Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock. What do you mean?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Why would I want another quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like when people are like,
anyway.
Yeah, that's like when people are like, do you want Josh Allen or Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes? I'll take whoever I can get. It's just these arguments make no sense. It's just like, what are you talking about? Like, you either have a quarterback in the NFL or you don't, and you're worthless. It's like, yeah.
And that's people are like, oh, if you get Aaron Rodgers, you only have him for like 3 years. Who gives a shit? It'll be 3 years where you think you're a championship contender. The Bucs got Brady for 2 years. They won a Super Bowl. Like, what the?
Yeah, you think the Broncos didn't want Peyton? We weren't going to have Peyton Manning that long.
No. Skip Bayless brought this up, and he goes, well, what? Like the Broncos ended up getting Peyton Manning, and he's like, yeah, but Aaron Rodgers isn't Peyton Manning. Well, okay, fine, but I mean, when Manning went to the Broncos, he'd had one Super Bowl and then he had another Super Bowl appearance where he lost. Oh, by the way, he threw a pick six in that Super Bowl against New Orleans to lose the game. Okay, so you're saying, oh, it was better for Manning than it was for Rodgers. I mean, you could make an argument that they had a somewhat similar career. You know, maybe Manning's numbers were a little bit more cartoonish than Rodgers were, but yeah, like, and he had the one more Super Bowl appearance. But yeah, I mean, you know, Manning had a bunch of other times in the playoffs where he didn't play that well. Rodgers has a bunch of those games. So, like, yeah, it's kind of a similar thing. Now, is Manning better with the media and better in terms of the way the public thinks of him? Yeah. You know,
Of course.
Rodgers is aloof. He says some stupid crap about he's anti-vax and all this other stuff, but he's still really, really, really good. Okay. So anyway.
Yeah, no, you want Aaron Rodgers? No, I can't. Sorry. I don't like excellence.
No.
I don't like making the playoffs every single year. It's so annoying.
Yeah. Getting in the playoffs and having a chance to win the Super Bowl, I don't want that. No,
not at all. Yeah, it's just absolute nonsense.
So anyway, that's all I got.
All right, folks. Everybody enjoy the conference championship games. You know, we'll definitely have a lot of time.
Chiefs Rams, because I think that would be a great Super Bowl. So as much as I like Joe Burrow, but I think that'd be a really awesome Super Bowl.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
So we'll see. Ooh, excuse me.